Hi! Welcome to our basic bump and grind mini-series. I'd like to tell you something about its history and, well, the most basic kind of outfit used in burlesque, in bump and grind. So, bump and grind is actually a vintage style of burlesque. It was mainly popular in the 1940s. But it existed way longer than that. It took form around 1800, 1970, and it was influenced by Little Egypt. It was a belly dance group that performed at the Chicago World Fair. It was a big festival with all kinds of music, dance, theater, and all kinds of art forms from around the world. And that was the first time that on a big scale Americans saw belly dance, Middle Eastern belly dance. For them it was very shocking because it was kind of, you could see flesh, like arms and a little leg sometimes. So the whole country was kind of shocked by those shaking and shaking belly dance dancers. And the burlesque scene thought, well, it's something that shocks people, we can do something with that. And they made their own style, belly dance influenced, and that was called bump and grind. So that's in a very, very short sentence, a little history about bump and grind. Now, the most typical kind of clothing they were wearing for bump and grind acts was actually, they started out with a big gala dress, evening gown, something like that, very fancy, with a very slow and sultry song, which they stripped their long gown and their gloves until they ended up with something similar, what I'm wearing, something belly dance inspired, which means a panel skirt, so a skirt with a front and a back panel. Most of the time they also have like side panels they can take off and throw away. A bra and matching panties, most of the time very revealing, as you can see, it's not that much fabric there. In that time they usually wore a thong under it as well, so they even stripped their pants and then ended up in a thong and the pasties that matched the rest of the outfit. Now it's very belly dance influenced, but with some differences, because in belly dance you wouldn't really have that much naked skin, that much naked leg. In belly dance they also use different kind of fabric, because this is like very see-through and you can see everything behind it. And also the tops in belly dance are more covering than what I'm wearing now. I'm wearing a very basic one. In those times it was all heavily embellished with a lot of rhinestones and strass and all kind of flapper accents and kind of that. I'm just wearing a basic one. Now, before we go to the second part of our mini-series, where I explain the movements, I'd like to tell you a little about the music. Bump and grind is usually, well, classical bump and grind music is, well, not with singing in it. So just basic music that has very alternating rhythms. So you have like very slow, sultry, flowing kind of pieces of music, and then you have like raw, fierce drums going through it. So typical bump and grind music really changes a lot its rhythm. So you have like the slow movements and the fast movements, really something like that. I hope you enjoyed the first part of our mini-series and you get a little background on bump and grind. I hope to see you again in our next lesson about the basic movements in bump and grind. Hope to see you soon.